chào tất cả các bạn. Các bạn ơi, đã bao giờ các bạn tưởng tượng rằng vào một ngày đẹp trời, mình sẽ trở thành nguyên liệu chính cho một món ăn của quái vật chưa? Hôm nay chúng ta sẽ cùng nhau đọc một cuốn sách có tên là Little Ogre's Surprise Supper của tác giả Timothy Knapman and Ben Cort, để xem rằng liệu Jack, cậu bé trong câu chuyện, sẽ ra sao khi lọt vào tay của chú quái vật nhỏ nhé. Nào, cùng bắt đầu thôi. This is my mom. She's beautiful, isn't she? And tomorrow is her birthday. She's going to be 103. I spent yesterday decorating our cave and getting everything ready for the party. But I'm also going to cook her a surprise supper as a special birthday treat. The problem is that Mom is a fuzzy eater. I don't eat kings, she says. They're too rich. I don't eat princesses, she says. They're too sweet. I don't eat knights, she says. I don't like tinned food. And the only time she ever ate a wizard, in a fancy restaurant up in town, it did extremely peculiar things to her tummy. So I was glad to find Jack. Look at him. He's fresh. There's plenty of good meat on him, and he smells delicious. I want to have you for supper, I said. But then Jack did a funny thing. He didn't scream. He didn't run away. He didn't try to hide. He said, "Thank you. No one's ever had me to supper before." And he gave me a big hug. He was certainly very cheerful all the way home. And we had such fun at the party. Jack was brilliant at pass the castle and pin the tail on the dragon. Usually, Mom doesn't like me playing with my food, but this time I couldn't stop myself. I took Jack up to my room and showed him all my toys. Then we went into the garden to feed my pets. They liked Jack so much. They rolled over and he tickled their tummies. No one's ever done that before. Soon, it was time to get supper ready. Somehow, I wasn't looking forward to it as much as I'd been expecting. "Don't worry," said Jack. "It must be boring washing vegetables on your own. I'll help you." So, we washed them together. "Is there something the matter?" he asked. I must say, Jack did look a bit surprised when I put him into the cooking pot. "I always wash my hands before supper," he said, "but I don't usually have a bath as well. You ogres must be very clean." As I was sharpening the knife, I thought it was about time I explained something to Jack. But before I could get the chance, he said, "You know, there aren't any other children where I live, so I don't get to play with anyone very often. Today has been the best day ever." And that made me think of all the times I've asked people if they'd like to play with me. They usually scream. And run away and tried to hide. It's a funny thing. Chopping onions always makes me cry. But there are times when you have to do things that are very difficult. This was one of those times. So I got on with cooking supper. And that day, you're going to hate me for this. That day I cooked, but really I didn't have any choice. That day I cooked my mom a supper. I mean, what would you have done? That day I cooked my mom a supper of vegetable stew. Surprise! Mom said it was the best meal she'd ever eaten, and I had to agree. After all, it's not every day you have your best friend for supper. Cảm ơn các bạn đã lắng nghe câu chuyện này. Hẹn gặp lại các bạn lần sau. Chào tạm biệt. Cảm ơn các bạn đã lắng nghe. Mong rằng các bạn cảm thấy thú vị khi đọc cuốn sách này cùng tụi mình. Cuốn sách nói Read Along Book này được thực hiện bởi Lotus Community, là một dự án thư viện phi lợi nhuận. Lotus Community mong muốn những cuốn sách tiếng Anh chất lượng tốt có thể tới tay mọi gia đình khắp đất nước Việt Nam. Để tìm hiểu thêm về dự án, các bạn vui lòng ghé qua lotuscommunity.org.vn nhé.